Hi children, I am going to start a new lesson and the title of the lesson is Indian Election System. How elections are held in India and how many types of elections are there. All this we are going to learn in this lesson. To start with, India is the largest democratic country in the world. As you know already, the ultimate power in a democracy is vested with the people. All the powers will be in the hands of the people only, because it is a government formed by the people, and because democracy means people's rule. And in Lincoln's words, democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And in a democracy, people should only take all the decisions. While and in a democracy, people should only take all the decisions which shape their future. And in a vast country like India, with a vast population, it is not possible for all the people to take part in decision making of the country. So many people, so many issues will be there, and on all the issues the people cannot assemble at one place and they cannot take any decisions. It is not possible for all the people to take part in the decision making of the country. And all the people cannot assemble at one place, discuss any issues and make policy decisions. So, what is the alternative? The answer is representative democracy. That is the only alternative. Now, first let us see the types of democracy. There are two types of democracies: direct democracy and indirect democracy. In direct democracy, people can directly take part in the making of decisions. By assembling together and discussing various issues, they can take directly part in the democracy. And this direct democracy is possible only in countries where the population is very less. And in ancient times, many countries like Greece, they had direct democracy, because at that time the population was very less, it was possible for them. But now, because of the huge populations, all modern democracies are indirect democracies or representative democracies. Indirect democracies are called as representative democracies also. Now let us see what is this representative democracy. And in a representative democracy, people elect their representatives, and these representatives take all the policy decisions on behalf of the people. The people elect their representatives, and these representatives take all the policy decisions on behalf of the people. How do people elect their representatives? What is the procedure of election? Now we are going to learn about all this Indian election system in detail in this lesson. Now, election system in India. The Constitution of India provides for the establishment of election system, and this election system is known as Election Commission of India. This election commission conducts elections in the country once in 5 years in a free and fair manner. Now the next requirement is right to vote. What are the other requirements for conducting these elections? People elect their representatives through these elections, and to elect their representatives, the first requirement is granting right to vote to the people. That is the first requirement for any elections. And the Constitution of India provides right to vote to all the citizens without any discrimination on the grounds of caste, religion, gender, race, education, or economic status, etc. Without any discrimination, right to vote is granted to all the citizens who are eligible. And this group of citizens who have the right to vote, it is collectively called as electorate. So what is electorate? A group of citizens who have the right to vote is collectively called as electorate. Now, after our independence, that is from 1947 to 1988, 1947 to 1988, 21 years was the minimum age for anyone in India to get the right to vote. As per the Constitution, 21 years was the minimum age for anyone in India to get the right to vote. In 1988, an amendment was made to the Constitution of India, that is 63rd Amendment. And according to this amendment, all the Indian citizens who complete 18 years of age are eligible to get the right to vote. Now the minimum age has been changed according to the 63rd Amendment, which was made in 1988. So from 1988 onwards, the minimum age to get the right to vote is 18 years. All those who complete 18 years of age, they are eligible to get the right to vote. In 2010, on the eve of Indian Election Commission completing 60 years, that means in 2010, the Election Commission of India completed its 60 years since its inception. 60 years were completed for the Election Commission of India. The Government of India declared 25th January as National Voters' Day. On the eve of Indian Election Commission completing 60 years, the Government of India declared 25th January as National Voters' Day. And thereafter, it is being observed every year. And the objective of observing this National Voters' Day is to bring awareness among the youth regarding their eligibility to get right to vote. If they are eligible, it is their responsibility to get themselves enrolled in the electoral rolls. All those who complete 18 years of age should get themselves enrolled in the electoral rolls. And then they are given voters' identity cards. What is this electoral roll? Electoral roll is a list of eligible voters. List of eligible voters is called as electoral roll. Now, elections at different levels. In India, there are two types of elections: direct elections and indirect elections. Now, the President and the Vice President of India, they are elected through indirect elections. President and Vice President elected through indirect elections, and Lok Sabha, which is also called the lower house of the parliament, it has in total 543 members, and 2 members are nominated from Anglo-Indian community. Total number of members is 543, and these 543 members are elected by the voters through direct election. That means elections to Lok Sabha are direct elections. People directly go to the polling booths and they elect their candidate of their choice. So, Lok Sabha members are elected through direct elections, and the elected members hold the office for 5 years. The term of office for the members of Lok Sabha is 5 years. And Rajya Sabha, it is called the upper house, and it has 250 members in it. Of these 250 members, 238 members are elected through indirect elections. That is, the members of Rajya Sabha, they hold the office for 6 years. And the elections to the state assemblies also will be conducted by the election commission only. And the remaining 12 members in Rajya Sabha, they are nominated by the president from different fields. Whoever has contributed their services in the field of music, art, social service, all this, such people, they are nominated to the Rajya Sabha. 12 members are nominated by the president to the Rajya Sabha. Now, elections to the legislative assemblies and councils. The members of legislative at state level, legislative assembly is the lower house and legislative council is the upper house. And the members of legislative assembly are directly elected. And members of legislative council, they are elected indirectly, just like members of Rajya Sabha. And the election commission conducts elections to the municipal corporations, municipalities and gram panchayats also. Now let us see this chart. The conduct of elections, how it takes place. The Election Commission of India at central level, and at state level, the State Election Commission. The Election Commission of India, which is at central level, it conducts elections for the President, Vice President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council at state level. For all these elections, these are the elections which are conducted by the Election Commission of India. And the State Election Commission, it conducts elections for municipal corporations, municipal councils, and also for local self-government. Now the Election Commission of India. According to the Article 326 of the Indian Constitution, there is a provision for elections to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha through universal adult franchise. That means elections to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha should be conducted on the basis of universal adult franchise according to Article 326 of the Constitution. Now let us see the Election Commission of India. The Constitution of India entrusted the responsibility of conducting elections in India to the Election Commission. This Election Commission, it is an autonomous body. It is independent body having independent powers. And this commission came into existence on 25th January 1950. And the headquarters of the commission is located at New Delhi. The Election Commission is responsible for conducting the elections in India, and the commission prepares electoral rolls. Just now we discussed what are electoral rolls. What are electoral rolls? They are list of registered voters. List of registered voters, eligible voters are called as electoral rolls. And these electoral rolls are prepared by the commission, Election Commission. And it conducts elections to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, legislative assemblies and legislative councils. And election of the president and the vice president. All these elections are conducted by the Election Commission of India. The next one is the Constitution of the Election Commission. The President of India appoints the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners as per Article 324, Rule number 2 of the Constitution of India. Article 324, Rule number 2 of the Constitution of India provides for the appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners by the President of India. And in the beginning, the Election Commission was only one member commission. That means there was only one Chief Election Commissioner. And in 1989, this Election Commission Act was amended. And according to that amendment, the commission became multi-member commission. Now there are two more additional election commissioners other than the Chief Election Commissioner. There will be one Chief Election Commissioner and two additional election commissioners in the Election Commission. That means the Election Commission became multi-member commission. From which year onwards? From 1989 onwards, according to the amendment made to the Constitution. Now these members are generally from Indian civil services. Those who are appointed as election commissioners, they are from Indian civil services. Those who are successful in these exams, those candidates are appointed as election commissioners. And their term of office is 6 years or till they complete the age of 65 years. That is, whichever is earlier, that is their term of office. Either for 6 years or till they complete 65 years of age. And the Chief Election Commissioner enjoys independent and supreme authority for the fair conduct of elections. He is not answerable to anyone as far as elections are concerned. He is having independent powers, autonomous body it is. The Chief Election Commissioner, he is appointed by the President, but he cannot be removed by the President. He can only be removed from his post only by the approval of 2/3 majority of the members of both houses of the Parliament. If 2/3 members of both houses of the Parliament approve for his dismissal, then only he can be removed. He is appointed by the President, but he cannot be removed by the President. And from this we can say, or we can understand the powers of the Election Commission. It is an autonomous body. Remember, he has independent powers. He is not answerable to the government. Now, what does the Commission do? What are the duties of this Election Commission? The Constitution of India explains the structure of Election Commission in its 324 article, rule number 15. 324 article of the Constitution, through its rule number 15, it explains the structure of the Election Commission. And what are the responsibilities of the Election Commission? Delimitation of constituencies, increasing or decreasing the number of constituencies, preparation of electoral rolls. I told you. What are electoral rolls? The list of registered voters or eligible voters is called electoral rolls. These rolls are prepared by the Election Commission. Preparation of electoral rolls, revising the electoral rolls before every general election. These electoral rolls need to be revised because within a period of 5 years, 5 years gap is there between two general elections, and within these 5 years, many people may die. Their names are to be deleted from the electoral rolls, and many people get eligibility to get the right to vote, and their names are to be enrolled in the electoral rolls. They are to be added to the list, and those who die, their names are to be deleted. So, these electoral rolls are to be revised before every general election, and that is also done by the Election Commission. And he also sees to the Commission also sees to the arrangements for the conduct of elections. All the arrangements are made by the Commission only as per the stipulated time, and recognizing different political parties. If any new political party is formed, that is recognized by the Election Commission, and then the Commission only assigns symbols to them. And issuing the notification of the election schedule regarding election date and for submission of nominations, everything, the date is mentioned by the Commission. Receiving nominations and scrutinizing these nominations, appointment of election machinery to do different duties in polling booths and all, appointment of inquiry officers for looking into the cases of any irregularities in elections. All these are functions and responsibilities of the Election Commission. Now, State Election Commission. Andhra Pradesh State Election Commission, it came into existence in the year 1994. After the bifurcation of the state, in 2016, AP got bifurcated into AP and Telangana, and after the bifurcation of the state, AP State Election Commission was formed on 31st January 2016. And the State Election Commission functions under the leadership of the State Election Commissioner. And this State Election Commissioner is appointed by the Governor, because it is at state level, he is appointed by the Governor. And the tenure of the office of State Election Commissioner is 5 years. The State Election Commission conducts elections to local bodies of villages and towns. The local bodies at villages and towns, for these elections are held by the State Election Commission. Now, appointment of staff. There are no separate employees working for the Commission. And as per Article 324, Rule number 6, the Commission appoints the staff from central and state governments. If it is central level, from central government; if it is state level, state government, with the approval of the President or the Governor. If it is central level, with the consent of the President, staff are appointed, and if it is state level, with the consent of the state government, the staff is appointed by the Election Commission. And during the time of elections, the staff will be working under the control of the Commission. They are not working under the government. Remember, the staff who are on election duty, they are under the control of the Election Commission, not the government. While on election duty, the government should not transfer or promote the employees without the consent of the Election Commission. Any employees who are on election duty cannot be transferred or promoted without the consent of the Election Commission. Now, this is the photo of T.N. Seshan. He was our 10th Chief Election Commissioner, T.N. Seshan. And he was the Chief Election Commissioner of India between the period 1990 to 1996. For a period of 6 years, he was the Chief Election Commissioner. And he initiated certain measures in the field of elections, and he became very popular because of these measures introduced by him. Now let us see what he has done. Strict implementation of the election code in an unprecedented manner. He implemented the election code in a strict manner, in an unimaginable manner. He implemented the election code. Strict implementation of the election code in an unprecedented manner, and issuing photo identity cards to all the eligible voters, and imposing limits on the election expenditure of the candidates. Because the Election Commission, it puts a limit on the election expenditure to be incurred by the candidates. Otherwise, if that limit is not there, the candidates who are contesting in the elections, they will incur expenditure as they like. Sometimes it crosses crores also. Bribes, in the form of bribes, they distribute money to the people. So imposing limits on the election expenditure of the candidates, it was a very good step taken by T.N. Seshan. So these are the three measures which were introduced by him, and because of these measures, he became very popular. Now, political parties. What are these political parties? The group of people who have some common political ideology, interest, and who form as a group in order to capture political power. Actually, naturally, if they form into a political party, their main aim is to capture power, political power. And political parties, these play a very key role in the modern democracies. If they set up political parties, they can become the leaders, and if their party wins the elections, they can become the leaders of the country also, state or country. The group of the people who have some common interest and common aims, common ideologies, they form into a group. And this group of people is called as political party. And what is the main aim of the political parties? To capture political power. And these political parties play an important role in the modern democracies. Now, types of political parties. Depending on the percentage of votes a party gets in elections, parties are divided into two types: regional parties and national parties. Depending on the percentage of votes a party gets in elections, parties are divided into two groups: regional parties and national parties. What are regional parties? A party which gets at least 3% of votes or wins at least 3 assembly seats. The party is recognized by the Election Commission as a regional party. If a party gets 3% of votes or wins at least 3 assembly seats, the party is recognized by the Election Commission as a regional party. For example, TDP, YSRP, and Trinamool Congress in West Bengal, SAD in Punjab, Standways, Shiromani Akali Dal, all these are regional parties. And what is national party? If a party gets at least 6% of the total votes polled from 4 states or wins at least 11 Lok Sabha seats from 4 different states, that party is recognized as a national party. I am repeating once again, if a party gets at least 6% of the total votes polled from 4 states or wins at least 11 Lok Sabha seats from 4 different states, that party is recognized as a national party by the Election Commission. For example, BJP, Indian National Congress, these are the major national parties. And the candidates who contest from any political party, they are called party candidates. If they contest from any particular political party, they are called party candidates, and other candidates who contest in the elections but do not belong to any political party, they are independent candidates. And the Election Commission also assigns political symbols to the parties. For all these recognized parties, political symbols are assigned by the Election Commission. And this Election Commission also gives a chance to independent candidates to choose symbol of their choice from the list of symbols which is available with the Commission. Now, let us see what is manifesto. Political parties clearly state their policies. What are the policies they are going to introduce if they come to power, and what are the issues for which they are going to give priority if they come to power, and also what are their promises to the people for the welfare of the people, what are their developmental plans. All these are given in the form of a statement, and it is called manifesto. Their policies, their priorities, and their promises made to the people if the political party comes to power. And these promises, policies, priorities all together, this statement is called as manifesto. The manifesto includes the attitude of the party towards certain issues and their ideals, the promises they are going to make to the people if they come to power, and developmental plans for the welfare of the people, what they are going to do if they come to power. And this manifesto helps the voters in electing the candidate of their choice. If based on the manifesto, the voters elect the candidate, these elected candidates can do something better for the country's development. Now let us stop the lesson here. I'll continue in the next part of the lesson.